Welcome back to A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast. I'm your host, Cody Depius. That is Sam Douglas. We just had an All-Star break. We are at the end of the MLB All-Star break. Jacob Misiorowski, since the time we last recorded, he was named a National League All-Star. That was an entire national conversation for a couple of days, but we're going to have it for the first time here on A Little Bit of Cheese because it's a pretty big one. And I will say, Jacob Misiorowski has brought the Brewers to a national scale, I think, more than anybody I've ever seen play for the Brewers. And this even goes for when Yelich was on his tear for 2 years. Yep. Like, nobody talked about the Brewers the way they do now that Jacob Misiorowski is on this team. And I think that's something that you have to kind of take into consideration when it comes to this, which, I mean, everybody that's listening right now, you're probably a Milwaukee Brewers fan, or you're not going to want to listen to this podcast. So you're probably erring on the side of, yeah, Misiorowski definitely should have been in the All-Star game. Me, as a baseball purist, it's hard for me to watch him get there. I'm going to say he most certainly did not deserve it, especially considering the fact that there were guys that had a lower ERA than him and pitched 4 times more than him. Like, I understand why the Phillies guys were ticked. And then again, I understand why Major League Baseball just didn't even nominate Christopher Sanchez and they just went to Misiorowski because Sanchez already pitched on Sunday and wasn't going to be named. But just for the sake of it, if that's the case, then you name him an All-Star and then you just go get Misiorowski anyway. But when you're talking about like All-Star nominations, and I mean, we're going to be on Baseball Reference later today. I am that dork that's on Baseball Reference all the time. If you make one All-Star team, you are so cool, and I think it takes a lot to earn that. I don't know if 5 games in the big leagues can earn that, but it did for Jacob Misiorowski. Sam, your thoughts?
If you're just taking the best pitchers in baseball, Jacob Misiorowski is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Does he have, all season acumen? If we're doing who has had the best first half of the season, which it sounds like that's kind of the gist of the All-Star vote, maybe he's fallen a little bit short. If we're just taking the best pitchers in baseball, Kershaw also got a nod. He's also there, and nobody said a lick about it.
He was a legend. He was the legend pick for the All-Star.
He was a legend pick. And another big takeaway from this whole baseball All-Star week, we saw players go back to the jerseys, being able to wear a Brewers jersey, being able to wear your team's jersey. The swing off at the end was electric. The NBA All-Star game sucked. When's the last time you watched a Pro Bowl? MLB All-Star game is sweeping. It's the best All-Star game out there. It's great TV. The Home Run Derby is fun. People are tuning into that. They want to see these guys get out there, represent their team. And I think Major League Baseball does an awesome job with All-Star Week in general. And a little bit of that is going with guys like Jacob Misiorowski. It was a little bit for TV. It was a little bit because, you know what, darn it, he's one of the best 10 pitchers on the planet right now. And it's not like he was throwing out podunk numbers, and he's electric with 102.5 fastball and an ERA of 4.3. No, he's been throwing dimes of games. Like he's earned it in the small sample that he's had. I have no problem with him being there. I think the whole All-Star weekend crushed. And I've heard a little conversation about bringing the swing off into the regular season. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I heard that too. So I'm going to be honest. I did not watch the entire All-Star game. I, of course, saw the clips. I saw a couple of the interviews, like Kershaw up there yelling at John Smoltz for calling his cutter a slider, or vice versa. He's like, I don't have a cutter, you son of a bitch, Smoltz. Like, as he's throwing the pitch, like, that stuff's cool. And then they go and ask, like, PCA, what do you got to say to the kids? And they just give good answers. And I think the mic'd up stuff definitely belongs at the All-Star game much more than it does, like, in an actual Sunday Night Baseball regular season game. But not going to say that I hate it during a regular season game, too, because sometimes games do go slow. And, like, as a baseball fan, I understand that. The swing off, though, that it's awesome. It needs to stay in the All-Star game. It should not go anywhere other than the All-Star game. It should never leave the All-Star game. It is perfection for it, which actually, this kind of goes back to the only time, well, actually, the only time that Miller Park, or the building now known as American Family Amphitheater,
Miller Park.
hosted. The only time that Miller Park hosted an All-Star game, it went into extra innings, and it was an absolute nightmare for Major League Baseball. And I think that nightmare might actually be a reason as to why Milwaukee hasn't seen an All-Star game and isn't talking about an All-Star game when they could definitely host an All-Star game. Like, I mean, for Green Bay Packers fans, we know Green Bay's never hosting a Super Bowl. We never thought that they were going to be able to host the draft, but they got that done. That was probably maximum capacity, and it was for the draft. Nothing compared to what the MLB All-Star game would be, but Milwaukee, they can do that. And it's to no fault of Miller Park for the fact that that game went into extra innings, but it kind of dates back to that. So just a little bit of a tidbit as to why they just know that they can't have extra innings in an All-Star game, because then you start burning pitchers. And, like, these guys are throwing. Jacob Mizorowski went out there. He threw a 102-mile-an-hour fastball right out of the gate, and it's awesome.
He had to. He had to. Could you imagine he gets up there after all that all
just
blue?
Like,
and he...
oh, 90. Like, I'm just going to warm up out here. No, and that's why the All-Star game is above. And I'll say it's a little bit easier for baseball to go out there and go max effort and not have to worry about an injury. Like, that's why those guys can play 162 games, where football, you're barely struggling through a 17-game season, even though Roger Goodell probably wants them to play 32 games every single year. The NBA, like, guys are taking off all the time. And I know they are in baseball too, but you can have the All-Star game because of the way that baseball is, but they really do maximize on it. And Nick Castellanos, he can go and call it a Savannah Bananas thing, but in all honesty, like, the closer that Major League Baseball has gotten to Savannah Bananas, I think the more it has saved the viewership and the more it has actually saved the sport. Baseball is getting to a really scary place, like, towards the end of the 2020s. And that's why you saw your juice ball era. Like 2017, when they started juicing those balls, like the Astros and banging on the trash cans, like that era of baseball that we all remember, they had those balls so wound tight, it did not take much. That's why you saw the home run numbers increase every single year. That was our steroid era. It was to save baseball. And then you went in and you implemented the pitch clock. You implemented the runner on second for the 10th inning. It's great. It's an awesome
bases
product.
Got bigger. Bases got bigger. Pitch
bases
clock
got bigger.
It's all good. It's all good stuff.
Yes. And I am a traditional baseball fan. Don't get me wrong. But I also understand that if Jacob Mizorowski threw in 1945, he would have been hung for witchcraft. Like, they're like humans change. Our capabilities change. There's, in our lifetime, they might have to move the mound back because of how fast we're going to be able to throw fastballs. Like, this next generation of pitchers is ridiculous.
So that's such an interesting thing. If they move the mound back, and I've thought about that for years, I don't know if you can, because then the breaking stuff just gets even filthier, right?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine a curveball with an extra 2 feet of action to move?
I mean, you read it earlier though too.
Yeah,
like,
sure, fair.
It. I'm not saying move it back like a whole foot. I'm saying like maybe an inch, like, just because that little couple extra miles an hour that everybody has on what pitchers had only 10 years ago. I remember when guys would come up for the Brewers and they would pitch and it'd be like his first outing. I would always watch the velocity. Oh, 95? This guy could close out of the gates. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have 95, you're a slowpoke. Like that's today's day and age. That's where it is. That's where it's going. But if you had 95 back in 1990, even, like, people used to say that Greg Maddux threw slow. He actually had the average fastball at 90 miles an hour. He was average compared to the rest of the league. It's just every, like, 15, 20 years, you add 5 miles an hour to that average. And there is a point where the human body will hit a plateau, but you got these freaks like Mizorowski that are 6'7", or Paul Skeens that was built in a lab, and these guys can just so effortlessly go 6 innings and throw 100 miles an hour the entire time. No, the human body could never do that ever before. You could say Nolan Ryan threw 108. That's all speculation. I believe the dude was gassing 100 at times. I don't know if 108 was there, and he was also a complete outlier, where now the average and the median, it's getting closer to the point where I don't know if humans are going to be able to continue to hit it. That's a whole nother conversation. Thanks for listening. If you're still here, I love you because that got
flamethrowers. Speaking of flamethrowers, though, we did have the draft recently. Brewers picked up a kid, I think it was like the 11th or 12th round, 6'8", 265, big arm. I think he's a lefty. I forget the name. I'm pretty stoked about the Brewers draft, but that did catch my eye. I was like, whoa, 6'8" pitcher, dude. Let's see what that's all about. We ended up getting Fisher, Andrew Fisher, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another Vol.
Yeah. Really stoked about him. Brewers said he had the best bat in the whole draft. They're probably going to say that about whoever they take. But 341 batting average last year, 491 OBP. He's a lefty, really good footwork in the box. He's 60 grade power hitter. Versatile in the infield, can play third, short, first.
Probably first base, maybe third. I wouldn't say
those are the holes for us, man. Those are the holes for us. So I'm really stoked about this draft. I'm really stoked about Andrew Fisher. I think he's going to be coming up. Maybe next year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, no, and that's like, it's crazy to see where the MLB draft is now, because I think right now, like today in Major League Baseball, I think 4 of the top 8 draft picks from the 24 draft are in the major leagues. Like, guys are taking shorter and shorter times to get through the minor. Like, we can all think of Paul Skeens. Like, Paul Skeens probably could have been called up the second that he was drafted. Yeah. He probably could have been called up to the big leagues his junior year of college. Like, these guys are, the NCAA gets these guys so ready where it does not take much development in the minor leagues, which is a good thing. But then again, there's that time you're in college, you're not really getting paid. But then again, you kind of are getting paid now if you're a superstar and you're in college. So I'm thinking out loud here. But
Shamar Stewart, go down that hole. The Shamar Stewart, that's kind of fun.
I haven't been there. I don't know if I want to go there either. So we'll just very quickly, he wants to go back to college even though he was picked in the first round this year.
Yeah, the Bengals are managing to screw it up, dude. They got Trey Hendrickson and a 17th overall first-round draft pick on their defensive line. They're shelling out money to the offense. Their defense sucks, and they have 2 awesome defensive ends, and they just can't get them on a contract. The Bengals botching this is hilarious. I've never seen a first-round draft pick be like, I'm going to take college instead. Just groundbreaking stuff. I love it.
Bo Jackson kind of did it, but he did it for baseball. But
that's true.
True.
Speaking of which,
we're going all different directions today, and I kind of love it.
Brewers are 56-40 right now. 96 games in. We got 66 left with this season. That's the best record we've ever had. The Brewers have ever had at the All-Star game, the 56 win mark. Most wins we've ever had. What do you say we go through the lineup? Everybody that's pretty much played considerable games for the Brewers, anybody that really matters. Give letter grades to just about everybody.
Everybody matters, Sam, but not for this exercise. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Sam, he texted me this yesterday, and I'm going to be honest, I got through Contreras, Hoskins, and Terang, and I wrote Ortiz's name down, but couldn't think of a letter grade that could really encapsulate Joey Ortiz for this year. So I'm going to let Sam take it away and lead us through. We'll do position players, and then you can actually we can do starters and bullpen too. We'll do quick explanation and just keep her moving.
Good stuff. Yeah, we do have a handful of people to go through here. I've got by games is kind of the categorization that we're going to be going down. Jackson Churio leads baseball with 401 at-bats. What's your grade for him the first half of the season?
So my grade is going to be along with what I had expected for the certain player. Like if I was going Jackson Churio like as a rookie last year and this is his first half, it'd be a little bit different. But sure. The expectations I have Jackson Churio as a C, but like a very hopeful C. Yes, he's actually played a really good outfield. I just have not seen improvements in the box. I mean, even if you look at his overall numbers from last year where he was really, really bad in the first half, those overall numbers ended up better, which maybe Jackson Churio is a second half guy, But if he gives you an A second half, he gave you a C first half, you end up with a B. That's kind of about what he did last year. I think you have a C first half right now. I think there's so much more left in the tank.
I give him a B, man. I still like him. I still like him. I think when you talk
Yeah.
about expectations, the expectations for this kid are sky high. I mean, he's
Mhm.
21 years old, and we expect him to be all-star flirting. So I think with expectations, C is fair. But to the moon, this kid can do so much. Bryce Turang has played 93 games for the Brewers. He's batting 274, and he's leading the Brewers with stolen bases at 17.
He is a B plus. The defense is still there. He has that
So there.
average
It's
at
so there.
a it's like I said, maybe one of the best we've ever seen. And now the bat's there, and I think the bat's going to play so well out of the 7-hole now that you can trust Frelick hitting out of the leadoff spot. Like, you take a little bit of pressure off of Turang where he doesn't have this mindset that he needs to be this top of the line leadoff hitter, because that's not what he is, and that's not what he's ever going to be. That's not what he's going to profile to be. I want to see him hit for a little bit more power. I think there's some more in that bat, but we've seen him continually improve when he steps in the box, and he's done it again this year. And I love Bryce Turang, man. He needs an extension.
I love me some Bryce Turang too. He's second on the team in total runs, which I think
Yeah.
is interesting because he is in that 6-7 spot. So just he's getting around the bases. He's classic Murph. Get on and get around.
He was leading off for a good chunk. I think we've had about 30 games of
Sure.
Sal leadoff, so probably a reason.
Speaking of which, Sal Frelick, he's our next player. He's batting 294 on the year. Juiced up Sal hit the weight room this offseason. What's his grade for the first half of the season?
I got him as a B plus as well. Similar to Bryce. I mean, maybe A minus range you're getting here for Sal, but I think
If we're going off expectations, can we bump him up a little bit?
I mean, I think a B plus is you're excelling. you're doing well. Like, C is, yeah, you did it, you passed. That's where it is. C is passing grade. It means I'm not mad at you. If you're below a C, I'm a little bit mad at you. And if you're above, I really want to sign you to more. I want to extend you. And right now, I really want to extend Sal Frelick. I'm putting the 300 batting average for Sal because you don't see that much power with him. He has to be hitting 300 for me to give him an A, which is why I give him a B plus. But he's been awesome. He's been so good.
Another guy I want to see signed long term. He should be a Brewer for a long time. 25 years old. No signs of slowing down. Still hitting the weight room. Joey Ortiz has played the next most games for the Brewers at 93 games, batting 210 this year. What do you feel about Big Joey?
Not great defense. Joey Ortiz, he gets. I'll give him a D, not a D minus, but it's a D. It's bad. He has been. I mean, I wasn't expecting the bat to be great this year, and I said that going in. But there's a point where you're a Major League Baseball player and where you're not, and where you're a starting baseball player and you're not. And Joey Ortiz has been the starting shortstop for a team that is in the top 3 in the NL, and that cannot continue to happen. He is on such a short leash, and you saw it. He was benched twice by Murphy in the same week, and you continued to see the same decisions on what he was swinging at or what he wasn't. The Brewers are going to be looking for a solution, and they're going to be looking very quickly. Ortiz has not met expectations in the slightest. He just needs to be a completely different baseball player in the second half, and I don't think he's going to be. The Brewers will have a new shortstop.
He is the only player with more than 25 games that has a negative wins above replacement number. And playing 93 games for this Brewers, having a minus .8 is almost impressive and hard to do. So
zero
you're right.
is replacement. So if he's having that many games, he's below replacement. He's probably below a replacement player.
Christian Yelich, he's hitting 259 on the season. We know for a while this year he was in the 100s with the batting average. He has gotten hot later. How are you feeling about Christian Yelich through the first 96 games of this year?
Yelly gets a B. He's done well. He's hit really well. He was really cold for a while, but you've seen the 300 batting average Yelich for over a month now. We saw that guy for 3 or 4 months last year, and that's kind of where I want to put my expectations again. But he's been good. The power stroke has been there, and I think he is a leader in that clubhouse. He gets a B.
He's leading in a lot of the advanced statistics. He leads the team in OPS, OPS
Mhm.
plus, ROBA, and the RBAT plus as well. So a lot of those kind of fine tuning stats that you can start to measure and like what's contributing to wins.
I do want to
More so
say an 800
levels.
OPS should not be leading your team if you want
Hey,
to go
that's
far in the
fair.
playoffs.
That's fair. Very fair. Contreras next up has played 90 games for us, hitting 245. The guy's got a broken finger, has for quite some time. How you feel about Contreras first half of the season?
C minus. And
Wow.
if like it's below expectations, and whether it's the finger or not, like there's that player that was there the last 2 years who was arguably the best catcher in all of baseball. The defense has been really good this year. He's been throwing a lot of
Mhm.
runners out. He's a leader in that clubhouse, and he's been stable as a hitter. He just hasn't. We haven't seen power at all. I mean, he walks every now and then, but the offense is just not really close to what it was before. And the Brewers kind of really revolved around him offensively in the middle of that order. And you can't rely on that anymore. So it hasn't been bad because the defense has been good, but hitting wise, it's enough below where I expected him to be that I put him just a bit below average at a C minus.
I think that's completely fair. Next up, we've got Reese Hoskins, who is a major role in keeping the Brewers afloat and even
Mm-hmm.
close to 500 through the first part of the season. Could have been a sell high candidate. His bat has been falling off. He's hitting 242 on the year this year. How you feeling about Reese?
With little power and the fact that he's going to be out for the next 6 weeks, I'm sorry, that's a downgrade for me. Like there's value there that we know we're not going to get for a long time. I guess
Mhm.
Reese Hoskins' downfall did bring us King Vaughn and Andrew Vaughn. Maybe I take that into account. But
King
uh,
Vaughn. I
have you seen
haven't
those
heard that
memes?
yet. No, I haven't. That's
Oh, they're
electric.
good. I'll send them to you. They're like late night scroll. Yeah, they're awesome. Uh, Hoskins, I think I'll put in the same camp as Contreras, a C minus. I was expecting a lot more power, which I think it was on the horizon. I think we were about to get it, but then he jammed that thumb and now he's hurt. Terrible first baseman. Like there are some like just defensively. Oh boy. But like you said, he was the anchor when that team was struggling and needed to stay afloat. I just I've always been hoping for better and he just hasn't been able to do it.
We're gonna go through two more hitters, then start on the pitchers here. Just kind of keep her moving. Next up, we have Isaac Collins, one of the best jumps in baseball from left field. A sneaky, really good player because he's not making dives because he's already there. He's
He
hitting
is.
259 on the season. How you feeling about Isaac Collins?
259, but that OPS is around 770 when he was in AAA and I didn't have him on my radar like at all going into this year. He was waived by the Colorado Rockies.
Oof,
Sam. He was like that's how
oof.
low he was. Like when you talk about like guys that were just thrown to the side by terrible organizations, Isaac Collins would be easily the best hitter in that Rockies line. Well, I mean Hunter Goodman's been good, but Collins, he might be the best defensive left fielder so far this year. He's been awesome, and
Yeah.
he's been every part of a fourth outfielder that you could ever want. He might have taken Blake Perkins' job. I don't know where there's a spot for him after this, which I'm going to cross my fingers that they stay healthy. But you got another B plus for me for Isaac Collins. Where did you come from? How are you this good? Please stay this good.
He seems like a Murph player too. He's got the speed. He's got enough defense. He gets on. He's had a couple big hits. I don't think that he's a left fielder that I want to rely on every single day. Someone that I
Yeah.
want to see with two outs in the bottom of the ninth in a playoff game. Good ball player, deserves to be on the club. Hope he sticks around for a little bit. Caleb Durbin,
Yeah.
man, Cody, he's been growing on me for a little bit. He really has. He's been a Murph player from the start.
Yeah.
Wanted to see it. He's starting to put it together. He's up to 261 batting average right now. Eight stolen bases on the year. Three walk-offs already this year. How you feeling about Caleb Durbin?
Oh, Caleb Durbin, you're not going to
A
like my
plus.
answer. I love Caleb Durbin. I do. I love him being on this roster. Caleb Durbin is not a starting third baseman. As well
Oh,
as he
Billy.
has hit recently, I don't think he is going to continue to hit this well. He's had a lot of lucky jam shots. You have to agree with
Sure.
that. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, did he really get a hit on that? Yeah, I guess they gave him a hit. But I mean, he's came in and has been miles better than Ollie Dunn and Vinny Capra, so saving you there. But there's still a point where Milwaukee's probably going to try to find another third baseman. Caleb Durbin, you have met my expectations. You're at a C.
Exactly a C. Personally, I'd give him an A minus. I'm a big fan of the kid. I think he's just getting better. He's 25. He's still young. Getting a lot of reps on a good team for the first time. I want
Very
to see him play.
optimistic, Sam. I love it.
Super optimistic. I told you we only had 2 hitters left, but let's get Andrew Vaughn some love out here. How you feeling about Andrew Vaughn? He's hitting 429 with the club.
King Vaughn, baby.
King Vaughn.
Oh, Vaughn. He's been good. He's been a spark. I mean, we had the podcast when they traded for him, and I mean, Aaron Savali has been unpitchable in Chicago, so you take that into account. Like, we're getting a lot more value out of Andrew Vaughn than we were going to out of Aaron Savali. So I think I give Vaughn a B minus right now because it's very early. Like, you got to build up a little bit.
The guy has done absolutely everything right. Almost single-handedly
been here for a week
and done everything right. That might be the best.
He has done everything right. Yes, it's a B minus, and there's a lot of room for growth and a lot of room where he could just fall off the face of the earth. Then they have to send him back down to AAA because he was hitting $180 when they traded for him.
Freddie Peralta leads is tied with for the major league lead at 11 wins. He's got a 3.2 WAR right now. 29 years old, 11-4, leading us a ton in the innings pitched. He's going his 6 innings. He's been pretty consistent. 2.6 ERA. What do you think?
That's an A minus, but like an A minus that I'm going to tell you to like take that with caution. There's just this. With Freddie Peralta, it's like there's a big scary monster that's kind of scaring him throughout the game or throughout the season, and you're just hoping that the scary monster does not catch up to Freddie Peralta. and I feel like that monster just gets a little bit closer and closer as this season goes along. But, I mean, to this point, you can look at all the actual numbers, and he has been great. He's been the anchor for that rotation. He's been the leader. He's just gotten his job done. He leads the National League in wins. And if you're doing that, I can't not give you an A. But the peripherals, like the walks are still there. That pitch count rises really high, really quickly. But he's been able to battle through that. I just wish that we could get a couple more starts where it's like, yeah, Freddie's cruising. He's through 5 and he only has 60 pitches. I can't remember the last time I've ever said that, and I don't know if I'm going to say it again. But he's been great. He gets an A minus.
Chad Patrick has thrown the next most innings for this Brewers team. I know you were hot on him coming into the season.
Yeah.
He's got a 3.52 ERA, 26 years old. How you feeling about Chad Patrick?
I mean, he's not on the big league roster anymore. So
3-7 win-loss. That's tough from your offense for what was some pretty good pitching from him.
Yes. Chad Patrick, I mean, expectations considered, he gets a B. He was really good. They didn't have anybody. I didn't know who Chad Patrick was going into the season, but then we saw him for a start, and it's like, this kid's going to be able to play, and he has. I actually saw a ranking list today of the National League Rookie of the Year. Jacob Mizorowski is ranked 1, and Chad Patrick is ranked 5th. And it's so funny because Chad Patrick is actually in AAA right now, and that's how deep Milwaukee's starting rotation has been. I don't think you've seen the last of Chad Patrick this year. I don't think you've seen the last of him in Milwaukee. You might have, because he might actually be a trade piece that people are going to look to pick up. And he's going to add value in that piece as well for Milwaukee. They traded Abraham Toro for Chad Patrick. Abraham Toro played about 14 games for the Brewers. You probably don't even remember when he played for the Brewers. But they gave him to the Athletics. The Athletics gave us Chad Patrick. And Patrick, of course, the Triple Crown winner in minor league baseball last year, came in, and he's on a Rookie of the Year list, although he's sitting in a dugout in Nashville. There's a future for Chad Patrick. It's just very tough on a roster where Nestor Cortez is going to have to fight for your 5th spot.
Speaking of future with the Brewers, let's talk about Quinn Priester. A couple years younger, maybe a little bit better. Also, right in that mid 3.5 ERA. He's pitched almost 90 innings for the Brewers. I'm a fan of Quinn Priester. What do you think?
I see more from Priester than I do Patrick, and that's
Yeah.
hard to say. Like that trade when it happened, we were not very optimistic, and a lot of people weren't. But Chris Hook, man, whatever the heck he's got going on has worked great. I got a B plus for Chad. No, not Chad. Quinn Priester. You got a lot of control with that kid. I think he's a dog. I love his interviews, and I love the work that he's put in. Like, and they have started with him in the middle of a season. You haven't even had an off season where Priester has been able to work with Hook. I think this kid's going to be really good for a while.
I think so too. I'm all aboard the Quinn Priester train. From the kid to the old man on the roster. How you feeling about Jose Quintana? 3.2 ERA, 6-3 on the year.
Quintana gets a B.
Yeah.
I mean, the ERA is a lot lower than it probably should be. There's been a lot of sloppy games that he's been able to get out of it. Quinn Priester is going to look really good in a different uniform in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about that more as the trade deadline nears. But I don't think Jose Quintana is going to stay a Brewer for long.
Let's just roll through the three pitchers, three kind of closers, three other guys that matter in this bullpen here. Then we'll kind of cruise through the grader. Starter, Miz. What do you think?
Miz, that's an A. I am so excited to watch him on this team the rest of the year. He completely changes the complexion of this team, and I think the expectations of this team going into the playoffs.
I love it. McGill,
A minus. He's looked great.
Okay.
Kind of scared me, but he's looked really good, and I feel more comfortable with him right now. That inning he had against the Dodgers was, give me some of that for the rest of the year. That was drugs. Keep it going.
I love the juice that he comes with. I love the juice that he comes with. Abner Uribe, 25 years old, still young.
A. Uribe's nails. I think he's better than McGill, which is kind of why I say that. McGill's really good. I think Uribe could be one of the best closers in all of baseball. He is so electric. Cowboy, baby. Let's go. I love Uribe. Want to do a quick grader?
Let's run through a quick grader.
All right. What is the best nickname in Wisconsin sports history? Of course, I have my mozzarella cheese going on right now. I want to hear what you got, though. There's been some good ones.
This is hilarious because one of my graders is also about nicknames.
That's awesome. Same wavelength, baby.
I don't know if it's a nickname, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, dude. I get chills when I think about the bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
Man.
I think that's kind of ripe for him. Because he's a bad man, dude. You piss him off, he's showing up to do his work.
A-Raj.
A-Raj. Who was the Grave Digger? Was there a Grave
Digger's
Digger?
good.
That's sweet, dude.
I'll always be a big fan of the Hebrew Hammer, Ryan Braun.
The Hebrew Hammer.
Yeah.
Was it Tony Plush or Tyler Tony Plush, right?
Tony. T Plush, baby.
That was just a moniker, right?
Alter ego.
Yeah.
Yep. That was awesome.
Favorite sports nicknames in general.
Ooh, I don't know. I love calling the Cleveland Guardians the Guard Dogs. I mean, that's kind of a weak answer there. Best nicknames in sports. Big Dumper, of course.
Yeah, big shout out to the Dumper.
Big Dumper. Oh, and then
quickly climbing the ranks.
Yes, and then there's a kid in the minors, and he's just this big, stocky country farm kid, and I can't remember what they call him, but it's something along the lines of like trucker, like something trucker. I don't know, or like gravy train or something like that. But there are some good ones in baseball, and I'll have to find it out for you. But
the one I had written down was a basketball, and that's the reason I wrote this down is because for the first time in a while, I heard about Vince Carter. I know about Vince Carter. Half man, half amazing. What a sweet nickname. Half man, half amazing. Come on.
Bree did not believe me when I called Cal Raleigh Big Dumper on TV when we were watching it. She's like, that's not his nickname. I was like, that is definitely his nickname. Then they said it on the broadcast. And Pat McAfee, what he said, the fattest ass in all of sports.
Yeah. They give McAfee a microphone at an event like that, dude. You know he's saying what's exactly on his mind.
And
or
it
Shane
doesn't have
Gillis
anything
last
to
night
do-
at the ESPYs. Like those guys are, they're right there, man. I love them. What is still essential for the Bucks offseason, real quick?
I like it, dude. I want to see Thanasis sign. So I think we're at 14 roster spots right now. Just signed Chris Livingston. Shout out to him. Really good high school prospect. Played at Kentucky. Just hasn't been able to put it together. Still only 21 years old. Finally signed with the Bucks after being with the Herd for a couple years. So he kind of covers that 6'8" wing type of body that we have been looking for. I want to see Thanasis sign, dude. I love it. He's the best 15th man in basketball. How many 15th guys are you really counting on for 20 points a game anyways? Like, bring Thanasis on the court. Everybody loves him. And if it makes Giannis happy, dude, isn't that the whole shtick anyways? So I don't know what we're doing with Andre, with Ajax or Thanasis. Those are kind of the decisions to be made. I think Kuz is going to get traded mid-season.
Yeah.
I think if there was any
Okay.
traction on that, it would have happened by now. But I do still think Kuz needs to go.
And you think Doc Rivers is your coach?
He's going to be coach, and that's we just got to be okay with it.
Now you're okay. Now we're okay with it. Okay.
It sounds like everybody's on board with Point Giannis, and if we're running Point Giannis, I think that's fantastic. Horst has said it. Doc has said it. Giannis has said he likes running that type of offense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Miles Turner changes that complexion so much. Like such a great signing if that's the way you want to go. So
I love this, but A+ for Horst this off season. Give me a player from the 1900s that you would love to see in today's baseball. Might not be like the best player, but like, who do you want to see? Like, lace him up, play a little bit of ball.
Rube Waddell is one that comes to mind. I think he actually played in the 1800s, but he was a guy that he was just like the crazy guy. Like there were stories of him. So it probably wasn't the 1800s, but in the 1900s. Go look up. There's like a song about him, but like it's all true. It's documented. Like when there was a fire truck, like he would stop. He would be pitching and then would stop pitching and then go chase the fire truck. Like just a guy, like just one of the weirdest. And I don't even know what it is, but Rube Waddell, look him up. Your day will be made. That's one player. I think Nolan Ryan like would have, and I know I already mentioned him in this podcast, but his intimidation factor and what he would do, like hitters were scared to step into the box, and you knew you couldn't fight him if he hit you either because he was going to kick your ass. Like Nolan Ryan would change baseball. And then I have to say it because they had the tribute, and I mean, we've talked about Hank Aaron a lot, but I would love to see Hank Aaron step into a box because he's one of those hitters that I think just would have translated so well with today's day and age. Like he didn't even worry about launch angle. That was not a term that you used back when he played baseball. If you gave Hank Aaron the term launch angle, who knows what could have happened. Give me 3 reasons to bet my mortgage on the Brewers World Series.
You got great odds. They've shown that you have an awesome plus number on that. I promise you that. Man, that's probably they've shown that they can get hot and they have the right pitches. They have a starter and they have enough pitching to really get through tough games. And that was kind of my thing. I want 1A type of guys, and I think if Miz is on his 1A stuff, if Uribe and McGill are all on their 1A stuff. That's a reason that we can really beat anybody. Nobody wants to see us. Quick, the Brewers are 4th in MLB with a plus 81 run differential. The Athletics are 2nd to last with a minus 134. What do the Rockies have in last place as a run differential through 96 games?
Oh, is that through 96?
96 games.
Oh, is it negative 230?
Minus 251.
Oh.
It's a good day to be a Brewer fan.
Yes, it is. Hey, it's been a good 8 years to be a Brewer fan. We always got to be lucky for that. We're living in the golden age, and we'll see where it goes for the rest of this year. We'll be back next week for another edition of A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast. Check out the Twitter